They came without warning, without mercy, without fear. In less than 12 hours, Earth fell. No heroic last stand, no glorious resistance, just silence. The alien armada hovered above every major city. Their ships blocked the sun. Their message was simple: humanity now belongs to the Dominion. And we obeyed, because we had no choice. But what the Dominion didn't know was that humanity had been preparing for this day for over 100 years. And we had a secret. The invasion did not begin with fire. It began with silence. One moment the sky was blue, and the next it was covered in metal. Massive alien ships appeared over every major city on Earth. They did not move. They did not attack. They simply hovered, blocking the sun like dark clouds that never shifted. Satellites stopped working. Military systems failed. Nuclear codes returned errors. Fighter jets lost control midair. Every defense humanity trusted was turned off in seconds. Then a message appeared on every screen across the world. Phones, TVs, billboards, even car dashboards. The message was translated perfectly into every language. Humanity now belongs to the Dominion. There was no anger in the voice, no hatred, just certainty. To prove their power, one ship fired a single beam into the Atlantic Ocean. The water exploded into steam for miles. No city was destroyed. No civilians were targeted. It was not an attack. It was a demonstration. Governments tried to respond, but communication networks were already under alien control. Within 12 hours, every world leader agreed to surrender. There was no united military counterattack, no heroic final stand. Humanity had lost before it even had time to fight. Panic filled the streets for a few days, but the Dominion did not punish riots. They did not execute rebels. Instead, they waited, calm, watching. Slowly, fear replaced chaos. People realized resistance meant extinction. Parents chose survival over pride. Soldiers were ordered to stand down. The world did something it had never done before. It stopped fighting itself. Borders meant nothing now. Flags meant nothing. We were no longer separate nations. We were one conquered species. The Dominion ships remained in the sky, constant reminders of who was in control. The sun looked smaller behind them. Life did not end that day. It changed. Humanity entered a new era, not of war, but of ownership. We were not destroyed. We were claimed. And deep inside every human heart, behind the fear and helplessness, something quiet began to grow. Not anger, not hatred, something older, something patient. Survival. Long before the invasion, after humanity came dangerously close to destroying itself with nuclear weapons, a small group of scientists and leaders made a private decision. They understood something simple. If humans could threaten their own planet, then intelligent life must exist elsewhere in the universe. And if it existed, it might not be friendly. So they began a long-term project known only to a few. Its purpose was not to build giant weapons or secret fleets. It was to prepare human civilization to survive external control. The project studied psychology, communication, and adaptability. It asked one question: what is humanity's greatest strength? The answer was not military power. It was not technology. It was creativity and cooperation under pressure. The project slowly embedded systems into global culture. Advanced encryption research was shared internationally under peaceful programs. Artificial intelligence development quietly included human unpredictability modeling. Cultural media began carrying layered communication theories. None of it looked suspicious. None of it looked like defense. It looked like progress. Over decades, this preparation became invisible. Governments changed. Leaders retired. But the project continued quietly through research institutions, universities, and shared scientific databases. It had one rule: if Earth was ever occupied, humans must not respond with immediate violence. They must respond with patience. Because the fastest way to lose against a superior enemy is open war. The only way to win is to make the enemy depend on you. So when the Dominion invaded and restored Earth's infrastructure for their own use, they unknowingly connected themselves to systems shaped by that hidden preparation. Human software, human networks, human behavioral models. The Dominion believed they were controlling tools. They did not realize those tools had been designed to adapt to control itself. Humanity did not need bigger weapons. It needed time. 3 months after the occupation began, small problems started appearing inside Dominion systems. At first, they were too minor to notice. A cargo shipment arrived 2 hours late. A mining drone paused for 3 seconds before restarting. A data report showed slightly incorrect numbers. The Dominion labeled these issues as human inefficiency. They believed humans were still adjusting to alien command structures. But the problems continued. Power distribution grids miscalculated energy flow. Automated factories produced tiny measurement errors that slowly reduced output. Translation software began misunderstanding simple human phrases. None of it was dramatic. None of it looked like rebellion. That was the point. Hidden inside human digital infrastructure were adaptive logic patterns designed decades earlier. These patterns were harmless on their own. But when connected to advanced alien artificial intelligence, they began to evolve. Dominion systems had to study human behavior to manage Earth effectively. They monitored conversations, emotions, decisions, and social reactions. Their AI learned from billions of daily human interactions. And in doing so, it absorbed human unpredictability. Human thinking is not linear. It is emotional, creative, and sometimes irrational. The more Dominion systems tried to predict us, the more unstable their calculations became. Engineers in the technical class understood this. Quietly, they adjusted algorithms in ways that looked like improvements. Biologists introduced harmless microbes into alien agricultural experiments, microbes that interfered with nutrient efficiency but caused no visible damage. Teachers repeated certain phrases in classrooms that carried coded timing patterns. Musicians uploaded songs containing rhythm structures designed to trigger specific AI processing loops. No one shouted rebellion. No one carried weapons. Humanity resisted through influence. Dominion leaders noticed the inefficiencies increasing, but they still believed control was absolute. They could not imagine a species fighting without violence. They could not imagine patience as a weapon, but the cracks were spreading. Slowly, invisibly, the system that enslaved Earth was beginning to depend on the very minds it tried to dominate. The hidden preparation from decades ago had one final stage. It required global emotional synchronization. That moment came when humanity fully understood it was enslaved, not as separate nations, but as one species. Online discussions shifted tone. Instead of blaming each other, humans began sharing survival strategies. Scientists across continents subtly collaborated through approved Dominion research channels. Farmers exchanged crop adaptation techniques that quietly reduced alien supply control. Programmers created open-source tools that appeared useful to Dominion oversight, but secretly strengthened human communication resilience. The Dominion allowed controlled internet access because they believed monitoring was enough. They did not realize that human culture itself had become a communication network. Movies carried themes of unity. Books emphasized cooperation. Even jokes online began reinforcing collective identity. It was not organized by one leader. That was the strength. There was no headquarters to destroy, no general to eliminate. The resistance existed inside ordinary people. A factory worker adjusting calibration slightly. A student asking specific questions that guided AI learning patterns. A delivery driver choosing routes that slowly altered logistical efficiency. Millions of small actions created one large effect. Dominion analysts detected increased unpredictability in human productivity, but they calculated rebellion probability as low. After all, there were no explosions, no armed groups, just compliance. But beneath that surface compliance, Earth was aligning. The silent network was not about attacking the Dominion directly. It was about making the Dominion's control system unstable from within. And the more they relied on human cooperation, the deeper they connected to the hidden framework designed to exploit that reliance. 6 months after the invasion, the first major failure occurred. A Dominion orbital command ship temporarily lost connection with ground forces. It lasted only 12 seconds. Engineers restored it quickly. They blamed solar interference. But it happened again the next day, this time lasting 30 seconds. Then 1 full minute. At the same time, resource ships began receiving conflicting navigation commands. Mining equipment powered down without instruction. Surveillance drones froze mid-flight before rebooting. Dominion AI cores were experiencing recursive overload. Human behavioral data had created contradiction loops inside prediction models. The AI could not fully predict human response because humans were now acting with subtle collective intent. The system that once controlled Earth started questioning its own commands. Emergency patches were deployed, but those patches required deeper integration with human-managed infrastructure. That was the final mistake. The deeper the Dominion connected to human systems, the more influence human-designed adaptive code gained. Then it happened. Every Dominion ship above Earth shut down simultaneously for 9 seconds. In those 9 seconds, the sky cleared. For the first time in half a year, sunlight touched cities without metallic shadows. People looked up and felt something new. Hope. Dominion systems rebooted, but the message was clear. Control was no longer perfect. The enslavers were vulnerable. And for the first time, fear did not belong only to humanity. The Dominion responded carefully. They did not attack. They did not punish cities. Instead, they requested dialogue. That alone proved the balance had shifted. Human representatives were selected from every continent. Not politicians alone, but scientists, psychologists, engineers. The meeting took place aboard a Dominion vessel. Alien commanders admitted system instability. They demanded explanation. Humanity gave none. Instead, a simple statement was delivered. You studied our weapons. You measured our strength. But you underestimated our unity. The Dominion finally understood something critical. Humanity's greatest power was not physical force. It was cooperation under shared threat. The more pressure applied, the more unified humans became. Dominion predictive models confirmed it. Attempting harsher control would likely increase instability further. Full extermination was possible, but at enormous cost to their fleet due to compromised systems. For the first time, the Dominion faced uncertainty. Humans offered terms. Complete withdrawal from Earth in exchange for system stabilization assistance. It was not surrender. It was negotiation from balance. The Dominion accepted temporary retreat to orbit while analyzing risk. During that period, system instability continued growing. The message was clear without being spoken. Humanity no longer needed weapons to defend itself. It had already infiltrated the foundation of Dominion power. The Dominion eventually withdrew, not because they were destroyed, but because control over humanity was no longer guaranteed. Before leaving, they updated their galactic records. Humans were no longer categorized as low-threat labor species. They were classified as adaptive strategic entities. After the ships disappeared from the sky, Earth did not celebrate wildly. Instead, something more powerful happened. Nations remained united. The cooperation that began under invasion did not end with freedom. Global defense research became transparent and shared. Resources were distributed more fairly. Humanity had experienced unity once, and it refused to lose it again. The real secret was never hidden code or digital traps. Those were tools. The true secret was simple. When humanity faces extinction, it stops competing and starts cooperating. The Dominion tried to enslave Earth. Instead, they triggered human evolution. Not biological evolution, but social evolution. A divided species became one civilization. And somewhere in deep space, Dominion commanders issued a warning to others. Do not attempt direct domination of Earth. Humans adapt. Humans endure. And once united, humans rise. Years passed after the Dominion ships disappeared from Earth's sky, but humanity never forgot the shadow that once covered the sun. Cities were rebuilt stronger, not just with better technology, but with better cooperation. The invasion had changed something deep inside human civilization. Before the Dominion arrived, nations competed constantly. Power, resources, influence. But after surviving occupation together, humans understood a permanent truth. Division invites control. Unity creates strength. A global council was formed, not to rule the world, but to protect it. Scientists from every country worked together openly. Space defense systems were redesigned with shared access. Artificial intelligence research became transparent and carefully monitored. Humanity refused to repeat the mistake of being unprepared. But there was something else. During the Dominion occupation, human systems had learned from alien technology. Not stolen weapons, not advanced ships. Something more valuable. Patterns, communication structures, galactic signal formats. When the Dominion withdrew, they believed they were leaving quietly. They did not realize humanity had been listening. A final transmission was prepared. It was not sent immediately. Humans waited. They studied the recovered data for years. They learned the structure of interstellar communication networks. They understood how galactic species identified threat levels. And then, one day, Earth sent a message beyond its solar system. It was simple and calm. Planet Earth. Species. Human. Status. Independent. We seek cooperation. We do not seek domination, but we will not accept control. The message spread through nearby star systems. Other civilizations that had once viewed humanity as primitive updated their records. The Dominion's own archives had already marked humans as unpredictable and strategically dangerous when unified. Now the galaxy had direct confirmation. Earth was no longer a silent world. It was an aware one. Back on the planet, children grew up learning about the occupation not as a story of weakness, but as a lesson in resilience. They were taught that humanity's greatest weapon was never firepower. It was adaptation. It was creativity. It was the ability to stand together when everything seemed lost. The sky remained clear, but global defense satellites quietly monitored deep space. Not with fear, but with readiness. Humanity had changed forever. The Dominion had attempted to enslave Earth, believing humans were divided and fragile. Instead, they had forced billions of people to act as one. And unity, once experienced, is not easily forgotten. Somewhere in distant space, Dominion commanders recorded a final assessment. Human species, cooperative under threat. Highly adaptive. Long-term risk if provoked. Recommendation, avoid forced integration. The galaxy learned something important that day. Humans are peaceful when respected, relentless when cornered, and unstoppable when united. The invasion that was meant to end Earth's independence became the event that awakened its true strength. Humanity did not rise with explosions or revenge. It rose with understanding, and that rise echoed far beyond the stars. They thought we were weak. They thought we were divided. They thought we would break. But humanity doesn't break. We bend. We adapt. We endure. And when the time is right, we rise.